don't take my thread. It is all I have left of her. Mother Moon, I have nothing left to give but my tears. Grant me a daughter.
Perhaps the ancestors have already spoken. Perhaps we are not meant to hear a small voice call us mother and father.
Òṣùpá ń tan ìmọ́lẹ̀.
In the heart of Ogun village, where the hills rolled like green waves and the Iroko trees stood taller than the chief's own house, there lived a weaver named Neka. Her hands were the gentlest in the land, and her cloth was said to hold warmth even on the coldest night. But for 10 years, Neka had wanted only one thing, that her skill could never weave: a daughter. Her husband, Obi, loved her deeply, but the years of waiting had worn thin patches into his patience, like an old wrapper washed too many times. "Neka," he said one evening, watching the fire die down, "perhaps the ancestors have already spoken. Perhaps we are not meant to hear a small voice call us mother and father." Neka said nothing. She rose before dawn the next morning and walked past the cassava farms, past the sleeping goats, until she reached the edge of the silver stream, where the elders warned no one should linger after dark, for it was here the moon herself was said to bathe. "Mother Moon," Neka whispered, kneeling at the water's edge, "I have nothing left to give but my tears. Grant me a daughter, and I will guard her with my whole life." The stream shimmered, and from its surface rose a figure made of pale light, her hair like woven starlight. "Daughter of Ogun, your heart has been patient long enough," the moon said. "I will give you a child, but she will carry a piece of me inside her. On the night of every full moon, her skin will glow like the sky itself. Guard this gift and never let cruelty near it, for jealousy is the one thing moonlight cannot outshine." The moon touched Neka's hands, and a small clay bead, cool and glowing faintly, appeared in her palm. "Swallow this, and your daughter will come before the next planting season." Neka wept with joy and did as she was told. True to the moon's word, 9 moons later, Neka gave birth to a baby girl with skin that seemed to hold sunlight, even in shadow. They named her Ifeoma, beautiful thing. But joy in Ogun village never lasted long without a shadow trailing behind it. Within the same year, a terrible fever swept through the village, and Neka, weakened from childbirth, was among those it took. On her final night, she held baby Ifeoma close and whispered, "The moon walks with you, my daughter. Whatever comes, do not let anyone dim your light." Then she closed her eyes and did not open them again. Obi grieved for a full season, but a man alone with an infant in Ogun village was seen as a problem to be solved quickly. Within the year, his cousins arranged a new marriage for him to a widow named Bisi, a woman with 2 daughters of her own, Tolu and Kimi. At first, Bisi was polite, even kind, in the way people are kind when they are being watched. But the moment Obi began spending more nights away, hunting and trading in distant markets, her true nature crept out like smoke under a door. Ifeoma was given the coldest corner of the hut to sleep in. She fetched water before sunrise, ground yams until her arms shook, and mended clothes by firelight long after her stepsisters had gone to sleep. Yet on the night of every full moon, when her skin quietly glimmered beneath her clothes, Ifeoma felt her mother's voice in her chest, and she never once complained. Bisi noticed the strange glow one full moon night when she came to scold Ifeoma for sleeping too long. She yanked back the girl's blanket and gasped at the soft light pooling across her skin like liquid pearl. "Witchcraft!" Bisi hissed, though she knew deep down it was something far older and far more dangerous to her plans than witchcraft. It was a gift she could never give her own daughters, no matter how many market charms she bought. From that night on, Bisi made sure Ifeoma worked from the moment the rooster crowed until the moment the fire went cold, hoping exhaustion would smother whatever magic lived beneath the girl's skin. It did not. One dry season, word spread through the village like wildfire carried on the harmattan wind. The young prince of the neighboring kingdom, Adeyemi, had fallen gravely ill with a sickness no herbalist could name. His skin had turned the color and texture of dried bark, and physicians whispered that only something not of this earth could cure him. The king sent riders to every village, offering half his kingdom's grain stores to anyone who could heal his son. Ifeoma was sent, as always, to fetch water from the silver stream that very week, the water there being the coldest and cleanest in the region. As she knelt to fill her clay pot, she heard labored breathing behind a cluster of reeds. There, hidden from the road, lay the prince, feverish, his skin cracked like the dry earth in drought season, his royal guards long since sent away so no one would see their future king in such a state. "Please," he rasped, "just let me die in peace by the water." "You will not die today," Ifeoma said gently. She remembered her mother's whispered words about the moon walking with her. That night happened to be the night of the full moon, and beneath her worn scarf, her skin had already begun to glow. She unwound her scarf, and moonlight spilled from her shoulders, chasing the shadows from the reeds. She pressed her glowing palm against the prince's cracked skin, and warmth flowed from her into him like water finding a dry riverbed. Slowly his skin softened, his fever broke, and color returned to his face. The prince stared at her, stunned. What are you?" "Only a girl who fetches water," Ifeoma said, smiling, and helped him to his feet. "I will find you again," the prince promised, before his hurriedly summoned guards, having caught up at last, whisked him away. "I swear it on my father's throne." True to his word, within a month, royal heralds arrived in Ogun village, announcing that the prince would visit every household to find the girl who had saved his life, remembered only by her moonlit hands and a voice as calm as the stream. Bisi, sensing an opportunity too large to lose, spent every coin she had dressing Tolu and Kemi in borrowed silks, while Ifeoma was sent to scrub the cooking pots out back, her glowing hair hidden beneath the dirtiest scarf in the house. When the prince arrived and looked past the powdered faces of Tolu and Kemi toward the smoke rising from behind the hut, Bisi's smile cracked at the edges. "There is no one else here, my prince," she said quickly. "Only a lazy orphan girl, good for nothing but chores." But the prince walked past her anyway, drawn by something he couldn't explain, and found Ifeoma exactly where cruelty always tried to hide its victims. In the back, in the shadows, in the coldest corner of the compound. When her scarf slipped from her hair, moonlight spilled out even under the afternoon sun, and the prince fell to one knee. "I have found you," he said. "Marry me, and let the whole kingdom see the girl who saved a prince with nothing but kindness and light." Bisi's fury, once hidden, could no longer stay beneath the surface. That night, she and her daughters led Ifeoma toward the silver stream under the pretense of giving thanks to the water spirits for her good fortune. At the narrowest point of the crossing log, Bisi shoved Ifeoma into the rushing current. "Let the moon take back what it gave you," Bisi spat, as Ifeoma's cries were swallowed by the water. But the stream did not simply carry her away. It rose in a great silver wave, and from its center emerged the moon herself, her light turning the whole forest bright as day. "You have tried to drown the very gift I gave in trust." The moon's voice rolled like thunder across the water. "For this your own light shall fade. Everything you touch shall turn dull and gray, and only the mercy of the one you wronged can restore it." Bisi and her daughters fled home in terror, and by morning their skin had turned the color of ash, their hands too weak to light even a cooking fire. Ifeoma, being whelmed safely to the riverbank by the moon's own hands, returned to the village at dawn, her light brighter than ever, just as the prince's search party found Bisi weeping false tears over an accident. "Guards!" the prince commanded upon seeing Ifeoma alive. "Take this woman and her daughters to answer for what they've done." But Ifeoma placed a gentle hand on the prince's arm. "Wait," she said, "let me speak with them first." She knelt before her trembling stepfamily and took their ashen hands in hers. "You were cruel to me because you feared there was not enough love or fortune to go around, but I have more than enough light for all of us. I forgive you." The moment the words left her lips, warmth returned to Bisi's hands, and color bloomed back into her daughter's cheeks. The curse lifted like fog before sunrise. Bisi wept, real tears this time, and Tolu and Kemi embraced Ifeoma, ashamed and grateful in equal measure. Ifeoma became queen within the season, and under her rule, no child in the kingdom went without a warm blanket or a full belly, for she remembered every cold night she had spent in the corner of her stepmother's hut. Bisi spent her remaining years teaching the village the dangers of jealousy, and Tolu and Kemi became the queen's most trusted companions, using their own hands to help others rather than harm them. And to this day, when the moon is full over Ogun village, the elders say you can still see a faint silver glow drifting along the silver stream, a reminder that kindness, like moonlight, always finds its way back to the surface. Thank you for watching this story, but I want to ask you, if you were Ifeoma, would you really have forgiven Bisi and her daughters after everything they did, or would you have let the river keep them? Let us know what you would do in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the land of Ogun, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot to us and helps us share more African folk tales. Until next time, keep your light shining bright.